So the first one is first demo is mine, and my input format is demo transcript. A quick problem statement brief here. My organization follows AI first development and QA, which means my release cycles for all my products have shrunk from 3 months to 1 month. Given this, my team also needs to keep up with doc production. With that, I plan to leverage all the material that I can gather from demonstrations, from we saw from Team One, artifacts from project management tools. But my team will focus on the that are generated outside of those project management tools. So the first one is demo transcripts. Please note that this is not demo video. It's only the transcript, which is in the VTT format usually. Aman, I'm going to leave it to you to read through all of this theory. I'll just quickly move to the demo slide and play the recording. And I'm going to play it at 2x speed in the interest of time. We have a lot of people in my team who have done a fabulous job and who would really love to play their videos. So here I go.
Hi
Just
everyone.
give me a moment. I'll uh, change the speed to 2x and I'll put it on full screen. I hope it is visible. Aman, please confirm.
Yes, it is. It's a bit
As typically
fuzzy
practice, often
though.
handle ourselves in situations where the product
Yeah,
management of internal
I
teams.
think it will take some time to load. I hope
Yeah,
it's better now.
yeah, it
Demonstrates
is.
All
But
right.
then, can
product
you
management
actually
based on
change the
documentation.
speaker to zero? Can you mute your speaker or your voice? Your voice
Yeah, I
sounds. I
will.
mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. It
So
is okay.
you
Just go
want
ahead.
me to mute the audio of the video,
Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please.
but the explanation lies in the audio. And
But
I think
because you're
when
going
you're
because you're going on 2x speed, it would probably just not make any sense. We'll not be able to make out anything. Uh,
uh, so then I'll
yeah.
reduce it to 1.5 because it is a complete demo then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
We then
You
have
can
the
probably
work
take it
enhancement
to
step.
various
That's been the
pointers,
standard
basically.
manual workflow writers have followed until now. The goal of my project is to change that and use the
Mm.
transcript file from the demo, clean it up, and generate content from it based on the cleaned up script, then review it against the Microsoft Writing Style Guide, and finally generate the documentation as structured HTML output based on design standards that I have set up in my style guide. So that's the essence of my project. To achieve this, I've created 4 skills. The first skill normalizes the transcript to remove the timestamp, speaker labels, false starts, or filler words. It generates an output in structured JSON format. And the next skill takes the structured JSON format output, which is the normalized transcript, and creates content from it. It just extracts all the context and content from the normalized script and generates the content. The next skill, that is the reviewer skill, reviews the generated documentation against Microsoft's writing style guide for a couple of parameters that I have set up. And then finally, the documentation finalizer skill generates the HTML output, incorporates the reviewer comments and fixes and applies my design standards for the generated HTML output. That's the whole setup that I have. And for that, in my repository, I have the skills available here in the .claude skills folder. There are, like I explained, there are 4 skills. Um, the input that I need for the first skill is the transcript file, which is generally in the VTT format, which is available here in the resources folder. The output of the final 4th script will be generated here in the output folder. So that's the whole setup, the workflow of my project and the GitHub setup. Now you might wonder why 4 skills? All of this could have been done in one single skill. My goal is to scale this going forward and use it in my day-to-day work at my organization. And to be able to do that, I think that having modules in the form of skills helps when it comes to improvise or improve or add more depth to each of the uh, aspect of the whole workflow. So having 4 different skills gives me that flexibility where I can scale easily without running into complexities in skill fights. Um, that's about the overall project setup. Now let's take a look at how it works. And for that, I have my terminal running here. The first skill is run transcript normalizer on, and I'm going to give it the transcript file and hit enter.
So I'll skip to the
It's taking some time.
part where
Yes.
it generates the
So if you see here in the resources
if you
folder,
see
earlier there
this
was
is
only a
the
VTT file.
generated
Now it has
output.
Sure.
generated the cleaned up transcript, which looks something like this here. Now the next would be to run the, so if you see here, Claude already knows what's the next step in my workflow. So I'm going to say, do it.
And I'll
That
skip
are
through
generated
this
by
as well.
and say yes. This is the output of the second skill, the author skill. If you see, it has created a markdown file with all the content extracted from the script file. Now, next, I will run the reviewer skill.
For
The
some
reviewer
reason, my
skill,
internet
the
was
issues or the review
not
feedback into
working
3
really
categories.
well
One is
when I record.
which will be ingested. This is marked as critical or as a warning.
So I'll skip through this part also, Aman.
Mhm.
The JSON file here. Let me show it to you.
So
If you
this is
see,
the
it has
reviewer
also
part
given my
of
content
the
an overall
workflow.
score, and it rates it at
Mhm.
88.1. That's the overall score out of 100. It is now building the HTML report. So the report is opened here. If you see, it shares the overall score, and these are the parameters based on which I have set up the reviewer skill to review my content. And if you see, there is one category where my content has failed. So based on that, um, it gives me, the skill gives me warnings and info tag feedback. Now let's go back to Claude. Now the next step would be to run the documentation finalizer.
Okay, so this is the last skill in the workflow, which will take all the feedback that the reviewer skill
So the
generated, and
finalizer
it
is
will
going
fix
to
that
take a look
feedback
at
in my
the key findings
content
setup. It will
and
also
generate
design
the
the
output,
output folder.
which will be generated in this output folder here. And for this, I have also created a design
So
standards
the final
empty
HTML has opened here,
markdown file,
and this is how
which
it
is
looks.
followed by Claude. And this is the final output that you
So
see
let
on
me
my
show you
screen,
the
Aman.
transcript file first. So this is the transcript file where Sarah Chen is demonstrating how to use Microsoft 365 Copilot chat to learn basic HTML. And she demonstrates how to use the chat question Copilot, M365 Copilot to learn HTML. And this is the content that is generated from it. Based
Okay.
on the transcript, the skill, the finalizer skill has created sections for each identified task from the transcript. It has also identified what the learner can do next after going through all the tasks that Sarah Chen demonstrated. And it gives a validation checklist and troubleshooting instructions if anyone runs into issues. That's it. That's how this whole workflow works. Thank you.